Welcome back to another episode of TripleKO. I am, of course, going into this week of fighting game news with my two compatriots, the GOATs of all time. Let's go, trademark, Maximilian Corporation. Justin Wong and Maximilian, how both are you doing this fine, sweaty summer day?
I'm looking at Justin because he's running into those problems more than me.
It's not that bad. I mean, I right now Vancouver is pretty good. But traveling season's about to come up. I'm going to Dallas this weekend, and Texas is normally hot. Hot. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
So I know like a couple episodes ago, I had sunglasses because I was trying to get warm vibes because it was still cold in Montreal. But now it like suddenly shot up in heat, and now my air conditioner broke down. So it's the reverse. Like I don't know why God is striking me down. But lots of hot fighting game news this week, though, and I think we should probably start first with Combo Breaker. I only got to catch a few things myself, like Bloody Roar Extreme. I was really hyped for that. So everything else, I just saw like the highlights of Street Fighter 6. But what went down with Combo Breaker this past weekend that you guys were really hyped about?
You know, I saw you tweet about like the guy that won Bloody Roar. He's a three-time champ. He's like, yo, you're the bloody GOAT. Bloody. But overall, I mean, Combo Breaker is one of those tournaments it's literally a passion, a community where people come together to play fighting games because everything is treated equally, right? Obviously, there's going to be different games or more numbers, but like everyone cares about each community. Like even if you're like a smaller scale tournament, like I mean, they had Garo Mark of the Wolves as an official title this year. That's like amazing, right? And plus, there's so many other games. Rick, he loves the Hado. He loves Killer Instinct. So Killer Instinct was on for like 8 hours all Saturday, like all the way up to the finals. And I think that was like a $15,000 prize pool, right? From Double Helix.
Pretty good,
right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Right now, Iron Galaxy, not Iron Galaxy, but right. Microsoft is putting an actual prize pool for the KI World Tour. So nice. At Combo Breaker and at Evo, there is like massive prize pools, like $10,000+ for the prize pool. And KI got a new trailer at this event. Got a 10th anniversary trailer.
Nice. And that wasn't like a fan thing. That was like Microsoft like approved.
That was made thing, by them. Yeah, it was in the same way exactly what they did with me, where I effectively like made trailers for them and they commissioned me. They commissioned KI fans to do it. So like Alex V and I think other big KI like FGC dudes put the whole thing together. Nice. Which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome, but also like let's get fans to make the trailers for us is also like there's a negative aspect to that, which is like
if we needed any more confirmation that KI was made with absolutely no budget and from the passion of its fan base, well, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing too, obviously, because it's like, there's only so many communities in the world and enough that you get and talented people that can make a trailer is still really impressive. But that leads into another Microsoft flavored story we'll get into a bit later.
What was your... I was going to ask.
I was going to say Combo Breakers. Like, wasn't there a Ring King tournament? The NES boxing game?
Oh, I think that was Mystery Game.
That was the mystery game. Okay, yeah. I was almost sure. It must have been.
Yeah, it's a mystery game. But, I wouldn't pass it if there was a side tournament for it. Like, a lot of the side tournaments ran on like mine and Yipes' channel. So that was really cool. They even had like this game called Duck Hunt. I didn't even know it was a platformer with like two ducks shooting guns and everything.
You mean Duck Game?
Duck Game, yeah. I never
Duck Game's hype.
I never seen that one before, so I thought that was really cool. But the finals for a lot of the games were amazing. Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8. I loved Tekken 8. Tekken 8 was so beautiful. It made me want to play Tekken 8 again after watching that top 8 because it was so explosive just from watching it. And obviously Street Fighter 6 with the new content with Season 2, all the characters that, we didn't see a Luke Grand Finals, right? So it was really different. So that was really awesome as well, too.
And we had a Lily Grand Finals.
Lily winning a street. So here's the crazy part is that so that character was the worst character in the game. Like everyone sort of agreed the chance of disputed. You undisputed. Like she just doesn't have enough sauce. She's playing the wrong game.
She's boring.
She's a Street Fighter V character in Street Fighter 6. It doesn't work out. Suddenly, Chakotay, obviously a character specialist, been playing pretty much nothing but Lily the entire time. And one big update, one mechanical update made a big difference was that Lily could not get up off the ground without level 1s or 2s to be threatening. She needed super to be threatening off the ground, and all of a sudden she gets wake up drive reversal. And now you got to start thinking about it just a little bit, just this tiniest amount of that. Oh no, she could actually do something on wake up. I'm not giving free Oki against this character all the time anymore, and it's massive. So like a lot of other characters, there was a Geef in top 8, bro. There was a
Zangief. Ramsey. He also made top 8 before at Frosty Frostings. Mm-hmm. He's like the resident Snake Eyes for the Midwest.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that Street Fighter 6 is in a good spot right now.
Very good spot.
Way better spot than it kind of even has been before. And these patches have not been that profound. These aren't like massive. The biggest thing was probably wake up drive reversal. That's a big change, but still, like what characters went through isn't that insane. Like it's kind of still pretty meager, all things considered, and already huge shakeups.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And I think they said recently, Capcom said this is not going to be the only patch like for the foreseeable future. Like another one is coming, kind of like
it'll be like a smaller one.
They didn't give a date for it. A smaller one, okay.
All they said was that they're not going to be doing the yearly patches anymore. Where they're like waiting a year. They're going to be attacking things probably with a different cadence, similar to or different than what the last year was.
Yeah, it's like how we got the 1.5 patch where it only touched up a little bit of characters where they like, hey, let's improve Ryu and see how he goes. And then this one, they're like, you know what, Ryu still needs more help. And then they gave him more Ryu buff. So I think it's going to be kind of like those smaller patches where if this character is not performing as well as they want to, they might give it a little push,
Yeah.
It'll always remind me when we talk about this type of stuff. It'll always just remind me of Mortal Kombat 9 when that was like coming out, and like Ed or someone at Another Realm would just say, we're going to have some micro changes where some little things might change and you'll have to discover them. It's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You have to tell people when you're going to do that shit.
But they're
crazy.
But their changes are drastic. Like their changes was like, oh, you're the best character in the game? Well, now
you're bottom.
Now you're bottom tier. At least
you thought you were a power top. Now you're going down to the bottom.
Yeah, for Street Fighter 6, I really love the way they nerfed characters in this version, at least, where they're like, all right, we nerfed them to fit where everybody else is at, not where they reign at the top. So I really love that because Luke, obviously, he was like the one character where everyone's like, oh my God, he's too good, right? In the last season. But they nerfed him to the point where it's like, no, like he's still really good. He's just not as dominant, right? Because they changed the mechanics with the wake up drive reversal and also like the parry changes. That really changed a lot for Luke's gameplay.
And the parry changes were like kind of it's like it's not surface level where it's like, oh, did the frame data change on parries and all of this stuff? It's like, no, the way drive reversal acts after perfect parries and how much a perfect parry rewards you, not just through frame data and attacking, but like how much drive gauge is removed and added and shit like that. That's what changed, like that. And
that's huge.
And that to anybody else that hasn't played a lot of Street Fighter 6, it's going to be like nothing changed. You're not going to notice anything, but it does. It has a big impact because, to be real, half of your experience in Street Fighter 6 is managing your green shit. And that's a huge thing about managing your green shit.
So like, since we're pretty much already talking about it with all the new content, Akuma being released, and just the changes else like that the entire cast has seen, I only really had time to like just take Akuma, play around, play some friends, and do his arcade mode and stuff.
Sure.
But it's like, I don't know if you guys would agree with this, but I don't even really feel like I'm playing Akuma. It just might be his default costume, but it's like I get like a Goken off him where it's like
because the beard.
It has to be, right? But I loved playing Goken in Street Fighter 4. Like I gravitated towards him playing for like a good chunk of it. I just liked him. So my impressions of playing him now have just been like super good. It's just nice to go down to a DLC character where it says type, it just says normal or like easy or whatever. Because every other
he's pretty straightforward.
DLC character is hard.
Yeah. So Matt, you haven't tried to fight Sir and Akuma in the Battle Hub yet?
I have not yet, but I know I've heard horror stories.
It was really fun, and I mean, you get like if you get to level 20 for the rewards, you get like the EX color one. It looks really good. It's like silver. So I would say it takes, if you win 10 Akuma fights, because you get like 4,000 attack points, you'll get to level 20.
But you also get points for losing.
Yeah,
so
you do.
You don't even. You could lose
Everyone's
36 times and actually afford it.
Get a participation trophy.
It's really cool.
They really seem to go all out on this character. Like, you know, obviously Akuma is like kind of a legacy character, but just like the hidden Shin version that he has, the hidden super, the crazy things to unlock him as a master in World Tour mode. Have you guys read about that?
I haven't seen World Tour mode. Like, how do you do that?
It's like you constantly have to, because you'll meet Akuma, just refuses to talk.
Okay.
So you constantly have to go to like Retsu and other people to be like, what's the deal with Akuma? And they're just like, oh, you don't want to mess with that. You have to do this and that. And then you go back and like, Akuma doesn't even want to fight you. Like, it just dot. That's it. So the thing that you have to unlock them, like, I forget everything because I haven't done it yet, but like, it's insane. Like, that's like exactly what I want. I just don't want it to, when it's like, when you were talking about this character, I don't want it to be like walk up to him and he's on his phone, like Jury or whatever.
Yeah, it would be weird.
Jury, that's fine. It's fine for most of the characters, if not all of them. But Goken's the one character, Akuma's the one character where it's like, yeah, that doesn't. And I'm not sure if you saw this, but people are theorizing, well, if this is how they're dealing with Akuma, how are they going to deal with characters that don't talk at all? So does this mean that Q will never be in the game?
12, right?
12. Any character that can't talk, how are they supposed to be a master in World Tour mode?
Yeah. That's easy. I think that's easy. Because usually,
how is that easy?
Because usually, like in other games, they'll have like, right? And then you'll have a subtitle of like what
Monster
they're saying.
Hunter style.
You know? So it could be very something like, to that.
You interpret that Q must have meant this, right?
Yes.
Okay,
right?
I
feel
see
like
that kind of working.
Yeah, I feel like that might be the way. But I love Akuma. I like, it's like easy to play. Everything combos. It just feels so freeform where you could just do whatever you want and it just works. Doesn't mean like he's broken, because like even though he has all
clear
these combos,
weaknesses.
Yeah, he has all these combos, but literally if you make a mistake, he just explodes. He dies.
The thing I liked about Akuma was the same impression I think me and Justin got when we first played him, where it's like, oh, he's got like easy routes, like super easy shit, where it's like everything just kind of links into one another, medium, like all that kind of shit. But then he's obviously got these other really complicated hard routes. I feel like there's only another character that I've run into in Street Fighter 6 that has like, all right, I can do the easy combos or the hard combos, and it's Ken. And Akuma is like that, but even more, where he's like got like, okay, an easy combo that everybody can do, a medium kind of hard combo, then he's got really tough shit, which is like, oh, okay, which is why I don't know if there's any other character in Street Fighter 6 that has more routes than Akuma. Akuma's got a ton of routes for nearly anything, it feels like. There might be like Blanca or something.
Maybe Blanca, or maybe something with an install. Aki, possibly.
Aki could be a good one. But Akuma's like that. He's like the combo Shoto right now. And it's like, if you really are good at optimizing this character and you look at that health, nobody's good at this shit yet. I'm watching Tokido play and everybody. Nobody's really like optimized the character yet at all because he just has too much shit. Once people get it, like against certain Akuma and stuff, and like level 8 CPU Akuma, you see it. You're like, bro, you're not killing me from this. You're not killing me from this. You're killing me from this. It's like, it actually does it. You're like, oh shit, this is possible?
Yeah, that's so cool.
The giant attack thing, I think that's probably done now by the time this podcast goes out.
Probably, yeah.
It has like a week or something.
So
I think it lasts like 10 days.
I hope they do something like this with one character per season.
Yeah, that'd be
one
cool.
character where it's like they just deserve it because of their stature, how powerful they are, whatever. Because I didn't get a chance to actually like participate in it yet, unless it's still going tonight at the time of this recording. Maybe I can get in. But like, I was like, this is just fun, like
it's just so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't do that with any other previous characters.
Well, they don't do it with previous characters. And I had an interesting conversation with Video Games over the weekend of this. Akuma is an event character, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially from the way he was added in Street Fighter 6, he was kind of an event. I'm sorry, Street Fighter 5. He was kind of an event in Street Fighter 5 as well. Everyone was like, finally, Akuma's back. They did the exact same shit in almost a similar time frame where it's like the year-ish later, the character shows up and it's like, oh yeah, there's a big celebration and everybody shows back up for Street Fighter 5 and now Street Fighter 6. I was having a conversation with the dudes. I don't know if there's any other character in Street Fighter that is an event character like Akuma. I think Akuma is the event character.
I kind of think Sagat and or Bison are kind of in that realm.
The next closest was Bison, but it's like, how many actual Bison players are there?
Yeah, I was thinking that
very few.
I would say Sagat deserves that more than Bison.
I would think Sagat's also like an event character, but to be real, how many actual Sagat players are there? It's like, dude, no, there is
a lot.
There, depending on the game, there's a lot. But
yeah, like Street Fighter 4, like he was crazy hyped.
For sure. But in comparison to like how many people fucking love Akuma, I don't know, dude. Like, especially from like a casual front, Akuma is so popular. Like people just love this character.
I'll tell you, in season 2, they reveal Crimson Viper, giant mommy milkers out there. That will be the event character. In the last couple of months, the amount of like Crimson Viper, like we want her back so bad. And it, not being away from a game and only being hinted in story stuff in people's endings. Like, I think there are a few characters you can turn into an event. But what you're saying is still true. Like, Akuma has that mysterious like quality to him, super powerful. But I think there's one or two. Hagar could be an event.
Yeah, I think
if you do it right.
I think Crimson Viper is a really cool character. I put her in the same boat as like a Sean or a Dudley, where I would like to think that people would be really excited about these characters, but I also have to recognize that they haven't been in something for so long that people don't even know who they are.
Yeah, that's true.
It's too soon.
Akuma's just been around forever. Like Crimson Viper was last in Street Fighter 4/Marvel 3, so that's 10 plus years old. So
she wasn't even in Cross Tekken as well too, so she didn't make it there.
Marvel 3 was the last game.
Cool.
Yeah, Marvel 3.
She totally wasn't. For some reason I thought she was, but I'm mixing her up with Poison.
Yeah, Poison. Poison was there.
Poison could be another big one too. Like I would love. We had this as the last story, but we're talking about it now. Takayama, one of Street Fighter 6's directors, said for season 2 you can expect unexpected characters for season 2. And I'd like to dive into this for a second.
So where does your brain go immediately when you hear that, Matt?
I'm also piggybacking on the theory that some writers at Event Hub has posed, is that season 1 is very Street Fighter 5
Street Fighter 5-ish, yeah.
I think it's so Street Fighter 5 focused, but kind of Akuma's, but was in Street Fighter 5. I'd like to think that the weird absence of all Street Fighter 3 characters in this game, weird absence of any Final Fight characters in this game, is that the seasons will be somewhat themed.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that we might get like a weirdo Third Strike character. Not like Oro, because already, kind of there. I could see like... I think Q is what I think of when I think unexpected, honestly. And
yeah,
not like
G.
What was his name?
G. G is Q. Let's just not beat around the bush. Like Q. I talked to the devs in 2018 when that character was coming out, and they just straight up told me G was Q at some point in development, but then they added so much new stuff that he became a new character, which is just the way Japanese development sort of works. And yeah, he has references to Q. Like he literally has a Q costume.
Sure. Like Q
they didn't get rid of that, but he clearly, in moveset and everything, in animation, dude, he has all the same anims, for God's sake.
Yeah, but Q's so much cooler.
He is cool. He is.
I got to give it to, G was like one of the best brand new characters to Street Fighter, in my opinion. So
no disrespect to the work that was done there, because it was such a crazy character for Street Fighter, but just mysterious masked robot man is just no charisma means boundless charisma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Boba Fett levels of charisma.
Exactly.
When we were hearing this,
Q is what I think.
When we were hearing this stuff and they started talking about this and it was making headlines that there could be unexpected characters, I started to think about that thing we were just mentioning with Akuma as like an event character. And I went back to Street Fighter V and I'm like, who was event characters in Street Fighter V? Sagat was like a big deal, but then then G took all the thunder. Like nobody gave a shit about Sagat after he came out, and then everybody was playing G, because he was so much fun.
I felt like there was a reason for that, right? Because G was so good. He's like top tier at that point.
And Sagat took a long time to become palatable,
But the trailer, they both released the trailers at the same time for Sagat and G. And the trailer was like G first. Everyone's like, woo.
What the
heck is this?
And then Sagat trailer came out. Boom! Like everyone got super excited. Right? It was a big deal. But then obviously when the gameplay, you're like, this ain't Sagat, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go to G. Oh, wow. G is crazy.
It felt like that was... Those moments were like event moments, like Akuma and then like Sagat and Q. There's another character that I feel like is an event moment in Street Fighter V that is different from the rest and also made like headlines and was crazy fun. And it was arguably one of my favorite characters in the game, and that was Akira. I think Akira was like a staple moment in Street Fighter V. Like, damn, this character in this roster does a lot. Like in the same way, we'll talk about it later. Like Jason in Multiversus does a lot for Multiversus just in general. I think Akira did that for Street Fighter V. That's where my brain goes. My brain goes to Akira. It's going to be like Edward Falcon or some shit like that. It's going to be Wang Tang. It's going to be Batsu. It's going to be Kyosuke. It's going to be something weird from another Capcom side of the fighting game universe that they sort of like Final Fight and Rival Schools have now stuck into canon, where it's like, oh yeah, these characters exist in the same world clearly.
Yeah, I think just Rival Schools. I don't see them like bringing in anyone other than like that's as far as the Street Fighter universe in
Rival Schools and Final Fight
has reached. So like I could see a Rival Schools character being in there, maybe not in this season, but like eventually.
Sure.
I wouldn't think they would do Akira again, even though I'd still like her. I think they would do like Batsu or Roy.
Roy would be amazing. Roy's just like Capcom Terry. That's all he is.
Yeah, but then but now we can't have if let's say Cody was ever going to be added, we can't have 3 blonde punching men.
Yes, you can.
Street Fighter 5 says otherwise.
There was all blondes in Street Fighter 5.
Bro, they did not give a shit. The same devs, by the way, same directors. Like it was the same people. I don't know if that matters.
Street Fighter 5 was what 50% blonde.
They'll just give Cody black hair and say he was dyeing his hair.
Yeah.
Blonde hair, blue eyes is broken. Okay. Don't forget about that.
What's an unexpected character to you, Justin?
I'm thinking about when he's thinking. I'm thinking like season 2 style, where it was all brand new characters type of thing. Like there's like a Manat, an Abigail, Lucia. I feel like they're going to go that route. Like you said,
that was a crazy season.
It's good. Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of like that, where it's just all not like. If it's returning characters, it would be kind of returning characters from Street Fighter V, not from an older game.
I think they're done with returning SF5 characters after season 1. I think we're going to do weird shit now.
I mean, Manat was kind of weird, but she was really cool. Really
but she's an SF5 OG,
Yeah.
Like, if you just think of Aki's just Fang, right? Fang better. So that's what the majority of season 1 was just like Street Fighter 5, but better now. Like Rashid, but better, well, comparatively, Yeah,
I just think they want to push like a newer generation of characters compared to the old generation of characters.
Right, but there's already so many new characters to begin with. I don't see them like
half the cast is new characters. Yeah.
This coming season, I feel like they're going to do some like easy home run things, and then maybe a third season introduce new ones, because I'm sure Capcom can look at the metrics for each of these DLC characters. Who do you think, like when all is said and done, will be the most downloaded and added? It's Akuma.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I think that might, to
to be fair, like season 2 characters are probably already planned out. Like it's already
season 2 characters were planned out when we were learning the leaks of the roster back in 2022. That's true. They're planned out like a year before the game was even considered to be out. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that changes is maybe like their costumes or whatever, like they decide. Speaking of which, the new costumes are added, which I always wondered, I think we talked about on a previous episode, where like how they're going to handle third costumes for all the DLC characters, and just having everything bundled in with Akuma, having the third costumes added to the other DLC characters was just like, oh, okay, thank God.
Yeah,
not like another monster weight. You know?
It made the update feel more substantial. Where it's just like, this isn't just Akuma, it's a lot of other stuff. This is like the period at the end of the sentence that is the beginning of Street Fighter 6. This is the end, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Aki coming away far and away the winner of that group of costumes.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Like Akuma's is just like, oh, you just made Akuma.
It's kind of random.
It's kind of random, yeah.
It's like a Honda costume for me.
Yeah, it's like a 5 or a 6 in my opinion, while Aki's is like a 9 or a 10. Aki looks like some crazy evil version of Kula from SNK.
Right?
Yeah, or like from Maximum Impact or something, just like so over designed that you can't help but like kind of like all little chains and everything.
But you love it.
And of course the jukebox being like
so
added. Good. So good. I was so happy I had enough drive tickets to like purchase like all the games that I wanted.
Yeah, that's my question for you guys. We got the thing we've been asking forever about, which was jukebox mode, and they did it for the most part. I think it's like a 7 out of 10 implementation. Because you can't assign it to stages, it's characters only. Sure. So that sucks.
It's pretty random, yeah.
And the other thing that really sucks, in my personal opinion, is that it is establishing themes only, not critical themes. So like all of the Third Strike music, it's round 1 music. It doesn't have the round 2 music.
Okay, I did not realize that too.
So like Akuma's theme is amazing at the start, but it gets even better when it goes and it kicks into round 2. It doesn't have that.
Congratulations, Max. You're 7 out of 10, which I was like, fuck this guy. And then you totally turned me around to be like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that. You know, that's totally justified at 7 out of 10.
Also, congratulations, Max. If Capcom listens, they'll be like, well, we got something new to add to the store for more drive tickets and coins.
round 2 themes. It's like, bro.
No,
and also,
not.
There was no stage themes from Street Fighter 4. So no Volcanic Rim.
Yeah, it's all character themes.
It's all character themes, and there's a lot of amazing stage themes in SF4 especially, where it's like, bro, come on. So it's cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like it. I'm using it. I spent a lot of drive tickets on all this shit. But at the same point, it's like, it's not Tekken yet. It's not there just
King of Fighters. Yeah, it's not King of Fighters 15.
No.
So yeah, like I guess we could move on a little bit from Street Fighter. Well, let's touch on this a little bit because I mentioned before just the that story that was kind of revealed on Twitter that Microsoft kind of put the axe down on a potential Killer Instinct tournament, which was back in 2021, I believe.
Correct.
And Max, I think you talked about this recently. You streamed some conversation about this.
Yeah. So just to summarize the situation, this is 2021. Someone at Smash GG is about to create like a partnership with Sajam, where they're going to make a sort of like official, Smash GG sort of like tournament featuring rollback games, and KI is a big one. At the time, the reason they were doing that was because Microsoft just bought the website. So Microsoft like owns the big tournament compendium website, the organizational stuff. They own all of it. So some dude's like, hey, how about we just do some KI tournaments with this super small budget, right? Not even nearly that big. A few months before that, I run KI Lives tournament. We get like 40,000 viewers just on my channel. I don't even know what the concurrent across the website was. It might have been 50K. And it was massively successful. So it was like, oh, a lot of people care about KI. Before that, a couple years before, we did #BringBackKI. Massively successful Twitter campaign. A lot of people really give a shit about KI. A lot of Microsoft people are being pestered. Where's a new KI?
Yeah.
So there was no new KI. It was not happening in this time frame. So this dude is like, hey, I'm going to run a tournament because obviously, Max's tournament went well. We could do more rollback stuff. It's the middle of pandemic. And Microsoft is like, hell no. no, we own Smash GG. You cannot make an official tournament. We are mad that you did this. And they're like, why are you mad? Because we don't want to give anybody the impression there's going to be a new Killer Instinct.
So I want to stop you right there. Is just like supporting an old game with a like Street Fighter 3 Fourth Strike is not coming out because it's going to be at EVO. That third strike is going to be like, I don't understand that mentality at all.
No, it's ass backwards.
Because wasn't KI supposed to be like a main game at EVO that year? Because it was like going to be the online year.
Yes. And then it got canceled due to obvious, like, I think big drama stuff happened in that year. But yes,
but those plans were already in place, and it was about a much bigger thing.
There's a difference, is that this was going to be a tournament hosted by an official Microsoft representation. This was like Smash GG, which is now a Microsoft thing hosting. And this, from internal perspective, this was like, hey, if we can run projects, what would we do? A lot of other people had like projects for like, you know, tabletop stuff and poker stuff and yada yada stuff that Smash GG sort of holds. And then some guys like, hey, let's do a KI thing. And a guy at Microsoft is like, no, we own Smash GG now. If we do an official sponsored KI thing, we're going to give people the impression there's a new game. We don't want people excited for something that doesn't exist.
I'm willing to meet corporations halfway on their reasoning. Like the amount of stories I've covered, amount of people I've talked to in the industry, and I'm sure Max as well, and like Justin as well a little bit. But like that still makes no sense to me.
Just because
it is a company that you own. Like, why are you jumping to that conclusion? I would still say that a third-party tournament that's even like owned by Sony, EVO, is still the bigger thing, and that would be where your concern would be, not just because you own a company that's running the tournament.
So now I can see the next question you have. So why the fuck was Max able to run his shit 2 months before this?
Because you're a third party.
Number one, I'm a third party, and number two, I kind of understand how this shit works and who to talk to. I talked to the right person. They said yes. Number three before that, the same shit happened to me with Marvel, where we ran a big Marvel tournament less than 6 months before that. How the hell did you get in like an official signed off Marvel versus Capcom tournament? How the hell did you do that? I knew the right people to talk to at Capcom and the right people to talk to at Marvel. They were cool with it. I effectively knew people that would like trust me to not like fucking destroy their brand in some way. And it's like, oh, Max will run something cool that'll make everybody happy. Let's just do it. So that was the theming behind like our pitch for KI, our pitch for Marvel, where like, oh yeah, the higher ups were on board for this. So it's like, okay, but at the same point, this Smash GG stuff was not run by the KI guys. This isn't like anybody that would have been closely associated with Killer Instinct. This was just going through Microsoft internal. I have no clue who it would have been. It would have been some MS bigwig. And they're just like, hell no. No. We don't have a developer for KI. We don't want to give anybody any impression that there's a new KI. If it was anybody from the Killer Instinct end, they'd have been like, oh yeah, of course, thank you. Which is what a response that I got was, oh cool, sure, thank you, we love Killer Instinct, which is where the majority of people that actually have something to do with KI and internal Microsoft, if they were like, hey, let's do some sort of wacky ass Halo tournament or some other thing related to some giant AAA Microsoft thing that's wildly failing, a Redfall tournament, I don't know, they would have been super chill with it. They'd have been, fuck yeah.
Redfall tournament, let's go. So basically what you're saying is when like Connor, who's a co-founder of Level 1 TV, made that Twitter thread, just had the bad luck of their Microsoft contact that they had was just not one of the people you want to be speaking to?
Correct. Right. And there's like levels to this shit, right? There's like 17 levels before it gets to the actual highest level. And I was probably at level like 10 to a person where I know can make a decision where it's like, hey, is this cool? But that's the thing, is that they might have hit level 15. And as you get that much higher up, you don't want these people to know about this shit. Like, you might not want them to know because they'll just be like, fuck no. No, we don't have a game in development. We don't want to give people the impression that we have a game in development. Phil keeps getting asked about this shit. We don't want him to be bugged about it anymore.
you want to stay at the D James level, who is literally at Combo Breaker saying, everyone check out the tournament behind me.
Yes.
KI top 8 happening. Like
yes.
that's
the crazy thing about KI is that James is effectively like the lead of KI at Microsoft, and he's like a 30-year veteran in the industry. Yeah. To be looking at the fact that KI has like a 30-year industry veteran with fighting games, and also potentially Iron Galaxy, who's probably wanting to make it, and they're just like probably not making anything right now because of the way MS is. So MS is just doing what they do, and they're just squandering opportunity like they've been doing with every single Rare franchise over the past 30 years.
I have my friend Derek from Stop Skeleton Fighting. And he just proposed, why does Microsoft have all these, not ashamed, but they just don't want to seem to use these Rare franchises. And listen, not all of them are maybe applicable in the current climate. Maybe, don't bring back Jet Force Gemini. I don't think you're going to get a lot of people. But why is there still no Banjo-Kazooie? Why is there still not a KI 2 that's going along? And it's not like we're in the dark ages, right? It's not like we're in the fighting game dark ages where fighting games are arguably
doing better than they ever have right now.
Exactly. So why isn't there why aren't we on KI 3 by now? And it's just, I'm sure Max is a better understanding of this, but it's Microsoft just does not have a lot of faith in the IP and or fighting games, and that's just it. Because they don't have someone that's really on the high level that understands fighting games and how profitable or successful they could be.
All I'll say is that there's been some documentaries as of late going over Microsoft business decisions and their approach to certain franchises over the past 20 years. And they passed up things like Grand Theft Auto 3. They passed up Spider-Man. They passed up
They passed up Resident Evil 4.
They passed up Resident Evil 4. These were a lot of the things that they were just no, that doesn't sound good to us. So this just falls in line with Microsoft, man. This is just the way they operate. They've just been, and we have to also realize the whole reason KI even existed back in 2013 was because it was a little game, a little XBLA game with no budget, with a no-name developer for the most part, that were able to put together magic. And then they did it again, a year and a half later with another developer, So it was just lightning striking twice and sort of seeping its way through the cracks of bullshit at this company. And now it's even harder to do that because now what's Microsoft's problem? Now they spend billions of dollars on Call of Duty. So unless it's a Call of Duty themed related thing or something in Diablo that's going to make them a shit ton of money, I don't know if they care.
Yeah.
I'll never get tired of Microsoft botching getting Resident Evil 4 as an exclusive Xbox. That's so stupid that it's awesome.
It's awesome.
That's based.
No, the GTA is the best one, dude. No, RE4 is relevant to us, but GTA is them getting the concept of GTA and being no, I don't know about that.
It doesn't look cool.
That doesn't look cool. Great. That doesn't sound cool to us. It's wow.
But GTA is not as established. You're on Resident Evil 4.
Sure.
It's literally the franchise that's saved Capcom from arcade bankrupt, arcade. And it's nah, we don't really understand what's going on. Who are you, Shinji Mikami? And then they just botched that interview and he goes to Nintendo. Nintendo's of course you want Resident Evil games. It's just my favorite story I've ever covered. And I love it every time.
They probably played the game and they're wait, what do you mean you can't run and shoot? Call of Duty or Halo. Nah, this game's not for us.
Wait. It wasn't even Resident Evil 4. It was Resident Evil in general. It was RE4, Resident Evil 1 remake. It was I am tired of putting the games on Sony
all
platforms.
The stuff that went to GameCube. Yeah, RE0.
Yeah. It was the Resident Evil franchise. Do you want that to be on your console? And Microsoft just not being organized and not really understanding the gravity of it. And then some things being lost in translation because there's a Microsoft English employee speaking and the translators are dude, you're going a mile a minute here. And they're telling Shinji Mikami, yeah, we really like it. And then he's I'm out of here. And then it just goes to Miyamoto. And Miyamoto's yeah, bro, let's get drinks. I just love it. Anyway, not very fighting game related, but thank you for explaining the breakdown on that a bit better, Max, for the KI thing.
So yeah, long story short, we're in the same spot we were with the previous Killer Instinct talks. Go just download the game, buy the game on Steam. It's been on sale, that kind of stuff. It's free. Just check it out. Just go check it out.
I re-updated everything on my Steam Deck because I have a plane ride coming up. So I wanted to get it on my Steam Deck for sure because I haven't played that.
I think it runs great on Steam Deck too.
I think so. The last time I played the non-anniversary version, it was still looking pretty crispy.
I recently fired it up on Steam. I swear it looks better on Steam than it did on the Windows Store version.
It absolutely does. Did anyone ever try Movado?
Yes.
I did not.
I did.
I did not either.
So,
okay.
You want me to break it down?
Please.
Quick breakdown. Movado looked like he was going to be like a new era of assist character or cameo character in Mortal Kombat 1. Where it's like, oh, they're giving him a ton of ambush cameos, which is like no posing. You know, he just comes out and does shit. Because in his trailer, we saw like 7 different moves where he wasn't posing or anything. Long story short, he does asterisks. And the asterisk is that his moves only come out when you're in a juggle state. So they're like specifically juggle state combo extension moves or moves off the ground like OTG. He's such a weird cameo, and they're not easy to do because you have such a limited period, like window, to actually hit the input during these juggle states, where he's probably one of the harder cameos to use in the game because you can easily fuck up his stuff. He's fun, right? It is fun to do just juggle extensions, but it's not what we were expecting. It's like a lot of caveat sort of cameo.
Because when I first saw his trailer, I thought the exact same as you. It was like, wow, just doing shit really fast. And yeah, I've not booted up MK1 since Omni-Man came out. Yeah. So I've missed a shitload because a lot has not enticed. Same for you, Justin?
Yep, Omni-Man was the last time I booted up Mortal Kombat 1.
Did we even talk about Ermac?
Yeah, I think we did. I think you talked about him.
I think I talked about him. Yeah. So I checked out the latest update, and I was just seeing how Movado plays and trying to play a little bit of other characters. And long story short, I just went back to like Havoc. I played some Havoc Movado for a little while, and Havoc's such a basic ass character. He's such a basic bitch sort of character. He's obviously he's also one of like the worst characters in the game, but I just do okay with him. And I'm in a spot right now with MK1 where it's just like, I really need a character. And it's the same exact problem I had with MK11. I think MK1 is a lot more fun than MK11. Don't get me wrong. I can actually play MK1, but I need a character, man.
Takeshi.
Yeah, it's got to be Takeda. Like, please, dear God, I hope Takeda's fun.
He's not out yet.
He's not out yet. He's the character after Homelander.
Okay. They did this purposely to Max.
I don't get it.
So let's jump into it then. On Mortal Kombat 1, Homelander trailer dropped today. As of the time of the recording, have both of you seen his trailer?
I think so.
I have not.
I saw a little bit.
Yeah, I saw like a little teaser, but not the full trailer.
I watched the full trailer, right?
What do you feel, Matthew?
Maximilian, out of all of the trailers, like every single time they specifically for Omni-Man, but for the other DC superhero character, I was like, it's gonna be lame. He's gonna do this, this, and this. I know it.
All right.
And each of those trailers went, hey, you got 10% of that right, but look at all this other cool shit.
Exactly.
I was like, huh.
I agree.
I came away from that really actually impressed.
Peacemaker especially,
Peacemaker especially. I was sure that he was going to be like the dud amongst all of them. You got the dud.
Yeah.
Homelander, just basing off this trailer, is the absolute dud. Where I just saw him do an eye laser from every possible direction, did one parry counter thing.
Yeah, he grabbed a hand.
And then that's it.
Yep.
It was just straightforward combos. I am very sorry to the voice actor. That's not Anthony Starr, the guy that plays Homelander. It is not a good voice. It does not sound like him. And I've watched every season of The Boys. Love the show. It's a very distinctive voice for that character. So it really, really it stands out as badly as Arnold's voiceover, sound-alike in MK11, where I'm like, that just sounds so off. Because I know that's not what he sounds like. I don't know what the deal is where Homelander is in Call of Duty and the actor plays him in that. Is there some type of clause that says certain actors can't have their voice in more than one thing?
It could be. Yeah, it could be exclusivity type of thing too.
Because the same thing for
money too. Yeah, that's a big thing.
You can't tell me Warner Brothers. Max is doing the finger thing for audio style only listeners.
I'm gonna do the finger thing, and I'm gonna say one word: WB-ness.
No, they have to be able to pay them. If it was indie,
they definitely have the money for sure.
Okay, but
they have the money. Don't get me wrong. They have it. They definitely have it. But WB-ness.
I think it's exclusivity just because if it's a Call of Duty, they're probably like, nah, you're not going to be in a different game.
Listen, there's no way you can tell me that money is an issue where in Predator Hunting Grounds, they were able to get Arnold to do tons of voiceover for that game because he did audio diaries and stuff like that, but he was not in MK11 due to money. It has to be a clause there. But the actor that plays Homelander said, like, made it inferred that's like, no, I just wasn't asked, or it was like, it was not
ain't no way
amicable.
He pretty much, so there seems to be a level of animosity in that story where when asked about it, he's like, if you want the Homelander experience, you should play Call of Duty. Like he said something close to that, where it's like, if you want the full like Homelander, you should just go play Call of Duty.
That's like a wrestling promo.
That sounds like he wasn't fucking asked. Which it sounds like, but
they got his face.
But it sounds like a one of those things, and it sounds like a WB-ness thing to me.
Yeah, it could be. But I just watched this trailer. Yeah, I watched this trailer, but yeah, I mean, he just looks like Injustice 2 Superman.
He does nothing that surprises you.
Yeah,
the punch catch is probably the one thing, but he doesn't really do anything that like goes like whoa, like he has long combos.
You know what's cool with this trailer? The assist, the cameo. That's a cool cameo.
Farrah seems like
Farrah's the star.
That looks so cool.
There's already a lot of like I said, Movado's a crazy, weird, gimmicky kind of cameo. In the same way that there's been a lot of other gimmicky cameos so far that aren't normal. They're just psychopathic. And Farrah seems exactly the same way, where it's just like, oh, here's another completely weird ass cameo that jumps on your back. And I kind of like this. I think this is sort of like crazy and cool. However, me and Justin knows how this shit works. The cameos that are going to be the best are the ones that are simple to use and effective.
Yeah.
So this is a Spencer to Spider-Man situation. No one's fucking using Spider-Man because everything's hard and weird to do. With Spencer, everything just works. So
it's just so cool. He just rides on your back, and you just choose when you want to release him as the second step.
It seems that way. Yeah.
She. No, she. It looks so cool that way. But yeah, you're right. Like if you ain't Chameleon, we ain't playing it.
Even in a game with like a cameo system, if you told me like 2 years ago that at any part of Farrah Tor were to come back, I'd be like, you're a liar. Get out of my face. But I mean, it's perfect almost, right? It
looks
is
so
weird
good.
and different, which is nice. Yeah. But then, like you're saying with Movado, the last couple of cameos have not been straightforward. Like, not have been easy to use. And
to be fair, Chameleon was the most like straightforward sort of one. And so why is Chameleon good? All three of her cameos, all three different chameleons that go through are good in some way. They do some weird thing. One's like an overhead. I think one is a glaive that comes back similar to what's her name?
Jade?
What's the dang character's name? The girl that throws two glaives at everybody. Not Melina. Crap. Serena.
Tanya.
Serena. Serena assist. She has like a Serena-like assist, and then the other one is like a fan lift, I believe, that like can lift you. Lift. So regardless, and she cycles between all three at any given time. But even at any time you use them, all of them will have applications and are good. And also, her cameos recover mad quick, dude. All of them recover mad quick. And it's like the randomness of it covers the fact that, oh, but you can't control which one, so we'll make your cameo come back faster. But all three of them are really good. Yes. So that's a lot different than a Movado, which is a very situational cameo assist, much less friggin' Tremor, where you have to manually cycle through that bitch.
Forgot about Tremor.
Yeah.
like we kind of brush aside Mortal Kombat 1 news because like that's what most people do on most social media and stuff. And people have really, really fallen out of love with it. I still think at the end of the day, if an Mortal Kombat 1 Ultimate is released and like 2 or 3 more characters are just added, like all of a sudden in that package with a story mode expansion, I still think like that has the chance of like bringing people like back in when they have all this fucking content. Maybe, I don't know, like bring down the grind on some of the microtransactions. Have a shitload of costumes available. Like all those Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance costumes. Every time I see a picture of a new one, like the movie, we didn't even talk about this. They have that movie Scorpion.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That looks so cool.
Yeah.
And like if you just make that available, like I will rebuy Mortal Kombat 1 Ultimate just to have all of that in one, or like whatever.
It's amazing.
Like I will get that.
It's super cool. The problem with the Scorpion skin is that you have to play Scorpion.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they also have to get the online rewards, right?
Well, you have to play Scorpion, and he's like not fun in this game.
Yeah, you have to grind with him.
He's like not enjoyable to really play.
Yeah. Though the grind is so long too. But you saw the Ed Boon tweet, right? Like, hey, what guest characters you want to come back?
Sure.
I mean, that's pretty cool. That's enticing.
Yeah, the fact that Ed has teetered around the idea of like, should we bring back guest characters that were in older games and bring them back? And it was like, yes, please bring back Alien and Predator. Thank you.
I would say just for ease of use, bring back Jason because that's easy.
Yes.
Because A, in multiverses, B, like WB literally owns like the movie company that puts out Friday the 13th. I guess Alien Predator might still be tricky to get again.
Yeah.
Or whatever because it's owned by Disney. But yeah, just get Jason in there. Like a Jason that's not rendered in MKX's kind of funky art style and more awkward animation that looks like super cool, has the Jason X skin.
Yeah.
And like whenever I look back at Jason X just Jason in MKX, I'm like, yeah, really fun character, lots of like cool stuff. Just the animation style and the normals and just everything is still like kind of awkward to me because I'm a big Jason fan. And since they announced the Jason universe, like that's even more reason to bring him back. I actually really like the way he looks in Multiverses, being this big hunking like Goliath sort of guy. I'm like, that still kind of fits. He's, depicted like that in cartoons and comic books and stuff. So that's all good. But like, I'd say like Jason being added into MK1 would be like an easy home run.
Yeah, I think so.
And Justin loves him.
He's my favorite.
You could have a Justin back of the box quote for MK1 like Ultimate. Like, I love him.
I will play. This will be my main game if Jason comes back in Mortal Kombat
1. Speaking of characters that I would main if when they're back is Lidia. Her full trailer was revealed at Combo Breaker, but I will say, as much as I love the character, not much going on in that trailer.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I love that trailer only for one reason.
I like the start of it, and I like her rage art.
Yes, that's why. I feel like
the in-between part was kind of like, all right, she's just doing normal shit.
But to be completely honest, it didn't really feel like we were seeing much different stuff than the last time she was a DLC character, which wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
But the rage art, though.
The rage art, yeah, okay, she has a different super. I get it. And she does way more stance stuff now. Cool. But she doesn't like make a Polish sausage in between these stances and then whip your ass with the Polish sausage or something, right? She doesn't have like some crazy green feet like Eddie does. And like she explodes. Like she's pretty straightforward in terms of how they presented her.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe it depends on, like it's not like Eddie with the green stuff. Like a lot of characters have like that like buff, right? Like
yes, she's not like Jin who gets a fucking wing now and can do all this nutty shit with it.
But it seems like she's always kind of like that, like a parry type of character. Like
and they went ham on that.
Yeah, more of like Leroy stuff, but more crazy with Lidia.
If she's a prime minister, she should be able to like in her combos like sign like important documents that bar you from entering her country, like in the middle of combos or something.
Yes.
But like the Polish flag having like a red eagle bird, I forget what it is, which is bad because I'm Polish, but I don't really know what bird it is. But that coming out in a rage art, I'm like, that's cool. That makes sense. Max apparently wants her to whack you with a Polish sausage.
I think I was expecting something crazy. I was considering how crazy Tekken Tekken 8 already is, and characters get unique buffs and meters and shit. It's like, okay, are they going to give her anything nutty? She just enters more stances. She feels like a crazier version of Reina. You know, it's like,
yeah,
okay, that's cool. I still want to play her. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually, because I downloaded Eddie, but I didn't actually play around with him yet. Just I haven't had.
I haven't played Eddie yet either.
I didn't play much Eddie, but I fought against a ton of them.
Did you fight 3333 bot?
Oh no! That dude never made it past even red rank.
Oh, okay. I thought he got a
story is
like
over,
dominating
dude.
the world.
No, well, you would think that based on the reactions that people were having, but effectively it was unable to really get past oranges, and it got to reds and then got D-ranked again.
So bot has like 5 AI bots to feed.
At one point, I went back and checked on it, and it was like stuck at high orange, and they gave it a ton more moves.
Oh,
wow. Way more moves than just 3 because he was getting fucked up.
They felt bad.
They felt bad, yeah.
They got a buff of...
the AI got buffed. So it's practically just an AI now. So it's like, okay. I will say I have one criticism. Lydia's face is better in Tekken 7.
I agree.
She looks like a different person. She looks like a Nina alt in Tekken 8.
Yeah, I can see that.
So with her initial trailer, someone took like a side by side, and it's like, yeah, she just looks exactly.
She has like more. Her face is just different in Tekken 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I don't want to agree, but then I looked at the comparison. I was like, yeah, I kind of have to agree. That's a little unfortunate.
But the rage art though.
Sure.
Yeah, white screen. Any super that turns the screen white screen. That's my favorite super.
Justin likes being blinded.
Whenever you see them streaming Tekken and the rage art goes off, you'll see like a bright white flash on Justin Max's face. Going back to Multiversus, just because that just launched at the time of our recording, like a day or two ago. I have not played yet, but actually looking at Jason's trailer, seeing the moves, seeing the bend press, which was a specific kill from just Freddy versus Jason, which is that's good stuff. Like, that's better than most special moves that he has in MKX.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little bit more inventive. Obviously, in a cartoon art style, it works a little bit better. But yeah, he seems really fun. I'm still not sure about the whole, like, locked behind a season pass for an extended period of time, and then you can get him afterwards.
He's like the first part of the season pass, though. He's like so I did it last night, and if you played any part of Multiversus in the beta, you have that season pass.
That's good then.
So it gives it to it feels like and a lot of people played Multiversus beta, but it feels like it's pretty generous. It feels like it's trying to be kind of generous with how you unlock shit. So I don't know. I just had him at the start. I was like, oh, okay.
That's good then. But like, you played around. Justin, did you play at all or no?
I did not play, but I watched a lot.
Okay.
And Jason's really cool. I love the character select screen where he just gets into your face, like before you fight. I think that's really cool. They, like it says, cartoony style, but they gave so much character into them, and I love that. My thing is, how do you feel about the gameplay being a little slower?
I heard that from people.
Yeah, it 100% is.
Yeah, it's just, I don't really like it that much.
I found the first beta to be too fast for me.
Oh, really?
And that's where I'm okay. And that's where I'll agree. I felt the original Multiversus beta was like slippery. It felt like I didn't really have much control of the character. And it feels like this one is clearly slow. And I'm like playing through tutorials. I'm like, bro, this is mad slow. Holy crap. How are they cool with this? And then you play the game and it's kind of fine. It's weird. It looks really slow, and then once you get some actual matches in and there's a lot of chaos and shit, it feels completely fine. So I was in the same boat in the first hour, and then in the final 3 to 4 hours, I was kind of like, I get it. I sort of get why they did this, but it doesn't visually come across as like, yeah, this is a good call in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I guess because so many characters have multi-hitting moves, you can kind of ignore... Like, it's kind of slow because I guess it gives you more time to do the next multi-hitting move for like combos.
Sure.
It makes combos way easier for sure.
It does make combos easier to like work out. It definitely does. And I will say one thing that I had way more fun. I tried this one time in Multiversus beta, and I was like, nope, not playing that shit again. And that was 1v1. I was just like, this game was not designed for 1v1s. Now I did some 1v1s with Jason, not even that many, fun as shit. Feels like 1v1s are way better in Multiversus, at least from like at least an initial, I just tried it and does it just give me repugnant sort of feelings? No, it was kind of enjoyable, and I think I liked it more than 2v2s. So Jason's fun. He's enjoyable, and the game just sort of like lacks spice. I'd say there's just something, it's a very floaty game too. Like you're always in the air and floating in the air, and like it feels like there's like an anti-gravity sort of to the game in some way. But still, like there was some redeemable parts, and Jason's very fun.
Real question, is there an offline version?
I don't know. Somebody was asking me about it, and then some people saying there wasn't, but I can't tell. A lot of people were saying, there's like an offline custom. You can even free for all if you want. So I'll find out with you at Video Games this weekend.
I do want to, like, the person I saw saying this is one Babe Ruthless. Big ups to her. Just tested to see if Multiversus can be booted offline. Sadly, that feature has been taken away with the latest update.
Wait, so you can't play offline with people or friends?
And it says she says making it way harder for local scenes to grow in this game. Was it initially you could do offline, but then there was an update on
Good question.
There was like a workaround.
A workaround, okay.
Yeah, because like running tournaments for this was a nightmare. Like it was like you have to really trick the system. It's like a loophole system. It was not like easy.
For it.
Yeah, it's not easy to maneuver. So I guess they removed that. And it seems like from what Babe Ruthless is saying, you can't even just play offline. It has to be connected online the whole entire time.
That has to be something that they're going to fix or do something with, because you can't. You just...
I guess because it's like they're keeping track of all the type of data that you're earning from crossplay and everything. It kind of reminds me of like a gacha game. Like, like those mobile games that you have to be online to play?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of one of those.
Yeah, but like it's not a gacha game.
I know, I understand. I'm just saying it's kind of like it just reminds me of those games where it's
okay.
Yeah, you can't play this offline. You need an internet connection, which kind of sucks for sure.
Because there's no single player like story thing, is there? Isn't there like a
There is a story mode. Yeah, there's a single player story mode. Yeah, there is.
Because, like, I was debating, like, am I going to have time to, like, actually download this today and boot it up? And, like, I didn't opt in on the beta because I did want to play Jason because, like, that's a character I will seek out. Like, yeah, right? Like, it's just everyone else. Like, yeah, I like Batman. Will I play, like, a game just to play as Batman? No, I can play, like, Arkham City. Or Injustice, but Jason, like, MKX, and that's Terrordrome, and that's it.
Yeah. I feel like Jason and Agent Smith do a lot for Multiverses, just in general, where it's just like those two characters existing in some way in that roster make that game immediately look more interesting to me personally.
Joker 2, I think, helps.
Yeah. Joker's been in like enough stuff where it's like not super surprising to me, but at least with it's like, oh yeah, Agent Smith is a great goddamn fighting game character. That's a good call. Cool. And Jason coming back in some way being represented outside of MKX and Terrordrome is dope.
Yeah, I just we get Godzilla. Godzilla's in every other indie game. Dave the Diver, Godzilla's in.
That's a great game, by the way. I love that game.
It is for sure, but at the same time, it's like I want him in a new fighting game. Speaking of a Godzilla fighting game, King Ghidorah and Hedorah, the pollution monster, were added to Gigabash the other week. I played around with them. They're super fun. Hedorah, since it's a pollution monster, has like poison effects, and nobody else has anything like that. And just the amount of passion that the developer Passion Republic game has, where it's the same thing as like Street Fighter 6, where you have a different taunt based on the direction that you press. So every single of these monsters has a different taunt where it's like a reference to an old movie. King Ghidorah has this crazy dive kick. That's the nastiest shit you've ever seen. You can just repeat it over and over until like a certain time where it, like bam, 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 bam. It's crazy overpowered and really, really fun. So I played around with that, and this was interesting. I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. It took them a long time to have DLC for this game, and it had 4 characters per pack, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same price as any other DLC character. Here, they added 2 characters and said, well, the thought process here was that it would take us much longer to offer 4 characters in another pack. So we decided to just cut it in half and say we can offer 2 characters now.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't too long between the last Ultraman character pack, which was 4. So we can give you 2 right now. And they thought that was the better solution rather than people have to wait.
Probably right.
Because when it's kaiju characters, every single character is its own thing. When you get Godzilla, you don't get everyone else. Everyone else is their own trademark.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I was like, that's probably the better thing to do, in all honesty. If any other game follows a similar route, it's like if you can get that character and you can polish them rather than wait for 4 and, charge more money, I think that's the safer bet myself. But
yeah, I think so.
I will probably force both of you to play Gigabash with me soon. Maybe even locally. Who knows? We'll
yeah, that dude. I just realized that's now a close possibility. That's aren't
very
we?
Close.
Everybody's going to this, Fummer Games Cest, whatever we're calling it.
We're going to the beach. That's what we're doing.
Is everybody going to the beach in the very, very near future? I think we're gonna be meeting up at my domicile or some weird shit.
Something like that. So yeah, I was having fun with that, but I wanted to ask, Max, specifically going back to Multiversus, you playing it a little bit,
sure.
How are your general feelings on it? Because I've seen a lot of people say there's features removed, so we don't like the monetization.
There's definitely
blah, blah, blah.
I wasn't a Multiversus hardcore. It's just one of those things I just jumped in and tried and enjoyed my time with it. But did I want to invest heavily? I can't play every game for 1 billion hours, but I enjoyed myself at least. The exact same way was with the current beta. Well, I'm sorry, with the actual release. I will say that the slowness of the game was inherently ugh, it was just a bad call. But I had big issues with how slippery and wacky the game sort of felt in the previous beta. So while I thought that was a detriment in the first 30 minutes to hour, by the time it was at the end, I was I think I prefer it this way. I think if we're to ask me, do you like this more than this? I actually think I like the way it currently is a little bit more. But all things considered, there's a lot of other things that are changing in the game in ways that I wasn't familiar with from the previous one, that a lot of other people are, and there's been some disparity where it's just this is gone, this in training mode isn't here, this and this isn't here, the currency you earn from this is all effed now, that kind of stuff. Giving toast to people isn't easy anymore, all this weird shit. So we'll see. I think characters and stuff like that are going to be where it's the most interesting. And I think I was probably the most excited to try offline content. And if that's not there, that's really going to suck.
Yeah.
I don't even remember, Justin. Did you play the beta?
I played the beta. Yeah. The beta was fun. I mean, playing against Smash players that know how platform games work. I mean, it was such a good learning experience because I got my ass kicked by all the top Smash guys, and seeing all these characters move around so fast, I like it. And I did like some of the single player content. I thought that was really cool. But I would say the one thing, just seeing the trailers leading up to the launch, how it looks slow, it did turn me off a little bit. I still haven't tried it yet because of looking at how slow the game looks. And I mean, I'll definitely give it a shot, but it wasn't oh my god, Multiversus here, I need to try it, compared to when the beta first launched, where I think so many people were excited for it. But now I felt the excitement's kind of it's not there as much.
Then that's the challenge, is that was never going to happen. Multiversus being a brand new thing 2 years ago, man. This was 2 fucking years ago.
No,
that's a long time.
Capturing that,
that's a long time. I thought it was last year.
It was a year ago.
July 2022.
Absolutely not.
I'm sorry.
There's no way.
I'm sorry, but yes, recapturing that excitement was always going to be something that was going to be difficult. That's what I was saying leading up to this, is that they'll never get that audience back. They're not. They're just going to have to do enough goodwill and services and characters to try to get people interested over time and rebuild that audience in some way. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, That's another problem. The game has launched with no ranked mode again. In the beta, they didn't have a ranked mode for like months, from what I recall. And now the game has no ranked mode. It's coming later.
Damn.
So it's just player matches.
That's kind of disappointing, given that like it's relaunch. You know, the beta, sure, okay, fine.
Sure.
You know, like
I agree.
missing features, but that's crazy.
We started back at the beginning.
I don't know. We'll see.
Wait, so yes, I forgot. Multiversus was the best fighting game released in 2022.
There wasn't much. Look, there wasn't much.
According to Jeffrey McKeely.
According to the Please Wrap It Up Awards, remember it was in contention with Sifu.
Yeah, Sifu. I would rather have Sifu.
That's good.
Won.
Justin's like, I don't even want to fight again with it. Just fuck it.
Jeez.
I'm just better.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I don't know why I think it was a year ago, but yeah, that was the year.
I'm sorry.
There's also a little bit of something else I wanted to touch on. Either did anyone see the Slayer full gameplay videos?
Yes.
Or the Nenmaster trailer, or not trailer, but like gameplay video where I clicked through it and I'm like, why is she getting her ass kicked in this official video? Like,
that happens in all the DNF. It's weird.
Yeah,
in every single
it's
DNF
so
video,
weird.
it's like you get some person that is playing the opposite character, and they're clearly like
they're really good.
and they know what to do. And the Nenmaster person is just like, I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. Like,
let me do my moves.
This is my first day playing this character.
It's the same thing for all the DLC characters, bro. It's very weird. So I don't get it.
Never noticed that.
You should flip it. It needs to be one person good with this character, make the person with the other characters just bad.
Because in this video I watched, Troublemaker is giving her like absolute trouble. Like she can't. I did see her level 3, which is pretty cool. It's like
she looks cool. She's just the better striker, you know.
Yeah. But like very Chun-Li, like costume number 7.
I like those colors. I like those colors.
Sorry?
I like those colors. The colors that they've been posting, like this is what the colors look like. I'm like, all right. I mean, this is a different approach of marketing, but I'm a fan, so keep going with these colors.
Hot take. I don't think Nenmaster is going to do much for me, much less like some of the previous DLC characters of DNF Duel. I don't think like they do much for me.
Because she doesn't look like you?
She's just Striker again. I had fun with several characters, from Berserker to Troubleshooter to Ghostblade and all this shit.
You know, Max, you're more of a husbando, not a waifu.
Yeah, well, to be real, it's like Lidia I'm going to play because she's fucking, I think she's super cool. It's Nenmaster is just like, all right, so this is just a not jam, the same character as before. I don't get waifu baited very hard.
Yeah,
character's got to look cool.
Yeah, Biken Master.
I am the original Biken main. What can I tell you?
Speaking of which, I do have to bring this up. We're me and I think Justin might have said this, but Jam and Venom were not in Guilty Gear.
Yeah, they're not yet.
I couldn't believe that. That's a Mandela effect if I've ever heard of one. I was like, no, and I look it up. I was like, what?
Yeah,
that's crazy to me.
Slayer is being added over the night tonight, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's
tonight.
Yeah, I think it's tonight.
Yeah.
So the 29th? Wow, okay.
DNF Duel, what I was going to say is that those any of the DLC characters in this season, I can't even tell you how many others there have been. There was some guy with guns or some shit. There was some others. There was a little girl. There was now Nenmaster.
There's a battle mage girl.
There's a battle mage chick. None of them have really done it for me. All I am excited about is that they just announced large-scale battle adjustments and balance. And,
I didn't see that.
And that is going to be going down fairly soon when Nenmaster either drops or soon after. So that's like, system-wide changes. Like, I pretty much stopped playing the game when they nerfed the shit out of Troubleshooter. Because he lost everything he did. And you had to play him completely different. I was like, ooh, this feels terrible. And all the Troubleshooter people also stopped playing the game at the same time. So it's like, okay, well, I'm curious if they're going to change that. Because clearly it's like everyone's like, oh yeah, the game needs more mobility and stuff like that. It would be nice if there was, every time they add new mobility, forward rolls, back rolls, it gets better.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Is there any other game in the history of fighting games, like in the last 20 years, that's like in this weird position that DNF Duel is, where it's like, it doesn't seem popular, but they're still making content for it?
Anime games.
And like it.
All of them.
No, but like, okay. Not to the, like, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, or like just BlazBlue in general, just seemed like it had a bit of hype and community that kept it alive, where it's like, I literally I'm just going by like social media, and I try to look at stuff and see what people are saying.
Under Night
is like the same thing.
Under Night seems way more popular than this.
Melty Blood. I mean, here's the thing. BlazBlue was like the anime game.
That was the one.
You don't even consider Guilty Gear like an anime game. Like, but to me, it's like it was even more so, quote unquote, anime game. Like BlazBlue was kind of like the mega one, right? So it's like, okay, so you're not going to really one up that, even BlazBlue Cross Tag. But I think, like DNF Duel, and it's like, Discord era fighter feelings, I think you're describing. Yeah, it's kind of comparable to what a Melty goes through, or a Fate game goes to, like those kind of games.
I think it's at that level, because I still think like BlazBlue or Cross Tag Battle or like Under Night are all like a level above it, where it's like, I just know that community is there and thriving. It's like, I just don't, and I like DNF Duel, like when I was playing it, I like certain characters and stuff, and it's just like, but DLC still keeps coming out every 6 months. Did you guys see that breakdown of what has happened in fighting games since DNF Duel has been announced?
A lot, yeah.
Since it came out, like a lot. Like, Street Fighter 6 finished its entire DLC season.
Yeah.
Before.
No, it's crazy.
After, rather.
And it's just crazy. Like the nature of like a game that ends up being sort of middle of the road, where it's going to either have its like hardcore audience or not. We still don't know how good the game has sold, or if it has sold well, but it at least has a relatively big audience. The franchise has a big audience overseas. So we have no idea how big the overseas audience is, or if anybody's playing it online or whatnot. It just sort of falls in line with those like fighting games that are, there's going to be like a hardcore group of people that love this shit,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they had an Evo Japan side tournament, so people still play it.
People still play it.
Yeah, people still play it.
There's been weekly MVCI tournaments. They're on like MVCI weekly 157 or some shit, and like they have like 30 to 40 people, which was the size of WNF not even that long ago.
Yeah,
so it's
was it at Combo Breaker?
Yes, there's side tournaments.
Oh, okay.
There's always side tournaments for like these wacky old games. They're there. The communities are there.
Where's Weapon Lord?
Weapon Lord?
You have to ask G James specifically.
Yeah, no, but like have a Combo Breaker tournament for Weapon Lord. I'd love that. I'd pimp the shit out of that. So I think our final story today, I personally love this because it's a game I've long since wanted to play, whatever. There was a Lost WWE fighting game that was pitched, developed, and it's basically Power Stone, WWE Brawl, where kid you not.
This never came out, huh?
So this never came out, and everyone only ever knew of a 360 PS3 version, but a 3DS version leaked with a playable build. And the boss of this game is Vince McMahon in a mecha.
Oh, like a Mr. Burns in a mecha.
What the hell?
Pretty much. And he's doing all sorts of unsavory things, I'm sure, backstage. So this is a 3DS version that's leaked. You can play it. And because, 3DS versions would still get, like, there was WWE All-Stars on the 3DS, which is still wild to me to even think about.
Yeah.
So this is playable. And, like, they pitched this, and it got pretty far in development. Really, really fun character designs and such. Fun stuff to do. Like, again, plays like Power Stone. And I only saw like a few videos of it, and that was it. And now that this 3DS version is like apparently playable, I'm like, that's so cool. Why? Cool. Why is this not released? Like, why did this game not release? And it's just WWE just pulled out. They're like, no, we don't want a fun arcade fighting game. That's not. People don't like that.
People like realism. The same way that this Hi-Fi Rush game looks all cartoony and jank, we better charge people nothing for it. It doesn't look real.
It doesn't look real.
That's so depressing.
Yes, it is.
That's another episode. Thank you for listening to TripleKO. Thank you, Max.